Claude Code is the best coding agent by far, and subagents is what makes it even more powerful. In this video, I'm going to teach you what subagents are, how to build your own subagents, and we are also going to build multiple subagents that work like an engineering team. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you like this video to support my work, and it also tells me that I should be creating more content like this. Right, so let's get started. Subagents are like the focus teammates of your IDE. When you're trying to interact with the Claude Code's main agent, right? So you can think of this agent as a manager or an orchestrator, right? That can understand the task that you are providing it and then delegate these tasks to multiple subagents or multiple teammates that are working with it, right? So basically this becomes your manager, and these subagents, so in this case, like you're only looking at one, but you can also have multiple subagents working together, and each of these are going to be managed by your main Claude Code agent. So if we simply try to understand how it works is, so let's say the user provides an instruction. Now it the agent tries to see whether it matches to one of the description of the subagents that we have created. If this task matches the description of the subagent, this task is entirely delegated to the subagent that we have created. The subagent resides in its own environment, which we are calling here as subagent context. Each subagent has its own context window, its custom prompt that specifies like what this agent is supposed to do, and it also has a specific set of tools and tasks. Now, in case if the description of the task does not match with the description of one of the subagents, you are going to stay inside the main context only, and your main agent, or let's say the Claude Code agent that you are interacting with, it is going to directly handle your request. So it's a fairly simple setting how subagents work in Claude Code. But this solves two of the biggest problems faced by AI coding system. One is context management, and second is tool selection. So let's say that you are working with a very large code base and you are also trying to accomplish a very complex task. In this case, all you need to do is to, provide this task instruction to your main context, or let's say the main agent that you have, right? And it is going to understand it, divide it into multiple subtasks, and delegate it to the subagent that it has access to. Now, each subagent would be acting in its own environment using its own context window and LLM, and it has its specific set of tools and the task description to achieve this task, right? So basically what we are trying to do is we are trying to divide and conquer. Now doing this, you are able to keep your main context clean, efficiently call tools, and never run into context window limit problems, right? So with that understanding in mind, let's build our own team of subagents wherein we are going to create 4 subagents that are managed by our main, or let's say our Claude Code agent. The first one is going to be a code reviewer. Then we are going to have a debugger agent. Then we are going to have a data scientist agent. And we are also going to have a web research agent that is going to help us fetch the latest and greatest information from the internet, right? So, and all of these are going to be orchestrated by our main agent. Each one is going to work in its own environment, and they can work together and delegate responsibilities to each other. So without any further ado, let's start the hands-on demo and actually see how you can build these agents and make them work together. So now I'm in my terminal, and as you can see, in order to start Claude Code, I just need to run. So this is the chat interface that we are going to get. And if you remember the analogy that I showed you, currently we are in our main chat interface, or the primary chat interface, which we are calling as main context. So in order to create an agent, all you need to do is to do / agents, right? Now it asks you to, if you want to create a new agent. So yes, we want to create a new agent. So let's click on enter. Now there are a couple of things that you need to select, whether you want to create this agent for this specific project, or you want to use, create it at user level or global level, so that you can use the same agent in multiple projects, right? So it's entirely up to you. For this demo, we are going to create this agent inside the project only. So let's do that. So there are a couple of things to note here. You can either use Claude Code to automatically generate it for you by just giving a small description, which is also the recommended way. Or you can, manually configure the entire agent. So configuration would basically mean telling our system like what is the name of this agent, what it is supposed to do, which is basically the description of the agent, and what all tools does it have access to, right? So as generating with Claude is the recommended way, so let's try to do that. And now we need to, provide the description for it. So first we are going to create the data science agent, right? So let me add the description for the same. So as you can see, I've added the description, and it says that you are a data scientist who is expert at trend analysis, BigQuery operation, and drawing insight by analyzing data. So to tell you, like we are going to use all of these agents to build a project that is going to, fetch real-time trends from open source GitHub repositories and going to rank them and see like which are the trending repository in, let's say, a particular area. So now you also need to tell the system that what all tools does this agent have access to. So we do not want this to have access to every tool that is there, because then we'll be defeating the purpose. We want to make sure that every agent should have access to only the tool that it needs to use, right? So this would make tool calling also very efficient. So we move to the show advanced options, and in here we are going to give it access to bash, read, and write. So these are all the three tools that this particular subagent needs. So we have provided access to all the necessary tool that this agent needed, and now we can continue. And the next thing that you need to select is what LLM this agent should be using. So Claude Sonnet should be fine. We'll do that. You also assign it a color scheme, like the agent should have a dedicated color. So let's assign it the red color. So as you can see, this is the description that is generated. It is calling it as a data insights analyst, and this is going to be saved inside our project. And this README file would contain everything that that tells our system what this agent is capable of doing, like the description, the system prompt, and all. So once we press enter, we would see that a new agent has been created, and as you can see, it is here. And as I mentioned earlier, so you can use Claude to automatically generate the description for you. However, later on you can go inside them and modify as per your requirement. So let's say I want to call it as a data scientist, and save it, and all done. So our first agent is created. Now we are going to create our second agent, which is going to be the web researcher, right? So again, we're going to keep it at project level, generate with Claude, and here's the description for the same. Now, important thing to note here is this agent is supposed to do web search and fetch results from the internet. And since these subagent can have access to tools, they can also be connected to MCP servers, right? So I have connected the Firecrawl MCP server to fetch latest data from internet. And in order to do this, Firecrawl MCP server has already been connected to my Claude Code, and it is globally available. After creating all these agents, I'll also quickly show you how you can, connect MCP servers with your Claude Code. It's fairly simple. It's just a single line of command that you need to run. But let's do that once we have created all the agents that we need, right? So this is the description for our agent. So the next thing is specifying the tools that this agent can use. So again, this is going to use some of the MCP tools that we have. So let's go into advanced options, and we are going to give it access to web fetch and web search, right? We can continue, and we provide the LLM that this is going to use, specify the color for this agent, which is blue, and we have a description for the same. Right? So our second agent is also created. Similarly, we are going to create the other two agents, which is the code reviewer and the debugger. So the idea is going to remain same for them also. Like you just need to provide one is supposed to do code review, and the other is supposed to basically debug the entire pipeline of the code that we're going to build. So let me quickly create both of them. Again, the next agent is going to be the code reviewer, generate with Claude Code, and we provide the description for the same, like you're an expert at reviewing code, proactively uses code for quality, also has access to MCP tools, right? So one more thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to connect this to a really great MCP server which is called Cloud Index. So basically what that MCP server does is like it independently indexes your entire code that you're working with and provide you semantic search capabilities over code, right? So this is something really cool because to make this agent very powerful, and it is also very cost effective, that because you don't have to again and again index your entire code through Claude Sonnet 4, because it is going to consume a lot of tokens and money for you, right? So although like this is not entirely important for understanding sub-agents, so don't get confused with it, but just a good to know thing, because we are trying to create a system that actually is useful and can do good things for you, right? So as I said, we are going to connect it to an MCP server that can index the code, search the code, also clear this index, and along with that it also need to have access to bash, glob, grep and read tools, right? So with that done, let's continue and select the LLM for the same, and this is our fourth agent, so we are going to use the fourth color in the sequence, which is yellow. So our fourth agent is also now created, and as you can see, all the 4 agents are present here inside .cloud/agents, right? And if you need to modify, or if you need to add some more instruction catering to your needs or your requirement, you can easily do and edit these files. This will be reflected in your system as well, and it will be accessible to the Claude Code agent as well. So with that finished, as I mentioned earlier, I'll also tell you how you can connect an MCP server to your Claude Code, and then we have already seen like if it's connected with your Claude Code, you can easily specify or add the tools available in those MCP server to your sub agents, right? So in order to, so currently like we have finished creating all the agents. So let's go to the main context, and I just need to click escape and I'm here. And if you want to connect an MCP server here, so let me show you a command how I connected the Firecrawl MCP server with my Claude Code. So you just need this single line of command, right? So it says that Claude MCP add Firecrawl MCP. Here's a command to start this server, and the environment variable, which is the Firecrawl API key. So I have deliberately not shown my key here, but I mean just go to Firecrawl, get your API key and add it here. With this single line of command, you have globally connected this MCP server to your Claude Code, and then you can use the tools inside it for web search with any of the sub agents that you're going to create, right? So let's move ahead. So now all our 4 agents are ready, and they're ready to do whatever task we are going to assign it. So let's do that. I have already created one interesting task for them. So what we want our system is to build a daily updating leaderboard of trending open source AI repositories on GitHub, right? So basically it first need to do web search. Now and the data scientist is going to write all the scripts and compute the deltas, compare the star counts, calculate the repo momentum score and stuff like that, and rank them all. And then once all the code is written, we have the debugger, which is going to validate all the code and all, right? It is going to write some validation script so that every time, let's say we make some change, we can debug those issues and understand like if everything is going in the right direction or not. Finally, we are going to have a code reviewer, which is going to review the scraping logic, the caching layer, and the leaderboard scoring logic that it is going to write. So with that, although like I went a bit verbose while giving all this instruction, but I think I mean even if you just go with a single line of description, Claude Code is really great at planning out and dividing this task into multiple subtasks, and then understanding like, okay, if I have a sub agent that can accomplish this task independently, it does that. So having said that, let's try to hit enter and get this going. As you can see, it has a list of to-dos. So first it is going to set up a project with the dependencies, and then as you can see, it is and then you can see like it has already delegated created subtask and delegated them to the 4 subagents we have. Then it is saying that use web search specialist to scrape GitHub repos, data scientist to compute star deltas and momentum scores, and then debug specialist to validate the end-to-end pipeline, and the code review specialist to review all of the components, right? So basically it is automatically able to divide the main instruction that we gave into subtask and assign it to all the subagents that are present here, right? So first, as you can see here, this one is in light purple. So this is the first task that we are going to do. So as you can see, like first we are creating a requirements.txt file. So since we are scraping GitHub repos, we are going to need a GitHub access token. So we are going to create an environment variable for that. You can see like here in the requirement.txt, we have all the requirements present. So the first task is done. Now we are using the web search specialist to scrape GitHub repo, and for this it is going to create a script as well. So let me quickly skip this for you and show you the final code that all of this system is going to write, and also see like exactly see like what that code can do for us, right? So let's do that. So once all of this is done, as you can see, like these are the components that we created. So there's a GitHub scraper that basically fetches all the trending repos with the tags ML, LLM, RAG and all, right? And collects their star count, language, contributors, and all sort of data. There's a data processor that basically calculates the momentum scores, star counts, growth, velocity, and all. And on the basis of that, it tries to rank all those repos. And so basically, this is we're trying to build our own leaderboard where we can check like which all repos are trending and all, right? So with that in place, let's try to actually run this and see how it goes. So we also have a run leaderboard.py file. So once we run it, the leaderboard is generated and it shows that we can quickly check the data leaderboard.html. So I have already opened it in the browser, and as you can see, like it created a leaderboard. Alright, so that's all for this demo, and I hope you learned something new today. And what I want you to understand here is like you can use the same setup to accomplish any sort of sophisticated or difficult engineering task that you're working with. And not only engineering or coding tasks, you can create these subagents to do a lot of other things that you do day to day, right? Since these subagents are quite generic, they have access to different sort of tools like your file system, a few other tools that you can directly provide them access to. And the best part is you can also connect them to any MCP server, right? So you can build anything that you want with these agents. And so yeah, there's no limit to it. It's only about like how creative you can get with it. And I hope this tutorial serves as a good starting point to your journey into Claude Code and creating sub-agents with it. And I highly recommend learning more about Claude Code and all of these things it can do, because I mean, it is one of the strongest agent. I've been using it regularly instead of using Cursor, and I think it is only going to get better. With that said, thanks for watching this video till the end. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.